Hello and welcome to the 2016 ACT Supervisor Briefing. I just wanted to cover a few quick items. This shouldn't take too long. Reminder that you do need to have your manual for testing, so if you have misplaced it in the last week, make sure you locate that and have it ready to roll. Your room layout does require that you post the start and stop times somewhere on a board or using notes. We also have Post-its in the bag, so you can assign seats to your students, and those Post-its will have all of your student names on them. Just a reminder again that spacing needs to be 3 feet, shoulder to shoulder and front to back or greater. You need to have aisle space between all students. They need to be seated in straight rows and columns directly in line with each other. And ACT would love it if they were able to face the clock. Some other reminders: we do not allow hats or hoods in school. That would also be the same for the ACT. We are asking you to reset the calculators as students enter the room. On most of the calculators, it involves pressing the second key, followed by the memory key, and then a 712. Students should also know how to do that sequence if they have those kinds of calculators. Students are not allowed to bring iPods, MP3 players, tablets, cell phones, or any other electronics. If they have those, we ask the students to put them in their locker. Students using phones during the break will be dismissed. And we do not allow food or drink in the room. They can consume those during the break only. If they bring those items, they can be placed immediately outside the door in the hallway. Students are required to have an ID for admission. You would mark on the roster sheet with an E or a P indicating a photo ID, or an R with the initials of the staff member that recognizes that person. If they are absent, a dash is appreciated. Students who are not on your roster are probably testing somewhere else, or they may be excused, and so you should send them to the counseling office or an administrator who will have a list of those students so we can direct them to the appropriate room. The most common reasons that scores are invalidated, according to ACT, are that the directions are not read verbatim, that the testing forms are not filled out accurately, or the test form code is missing on the answer document. So during that section of the testing, make sure the students are filling in that test form code correctly. Breaks: ACT does allow 2 breaks. There's one 15-minute break after test 2. Students are allowed to leave the room. Please ask them to respect other students by being quiet, and I know that's a challenge. They are not allowed to use electronics during that break. They may write the start and stop time. You should write the start and stop times in the manual. There's also a light snack that will be provided of water and some granola. There is also a 5-minute break after test 4 that should be quiet and in the room, so students should not be dismissed for that time. Upon completion of the testing, don't forget that you also need to have all of your forms completed. The roster, you will be completing that primarily as students enter the room. The booklet count form, you complete that before you're allowed to pick up the tests and then as you return them. The seating diagram is completed during test 1. Your time verification you complete at the start and conclusion of each test. And then if you need to complete an irregularity report at the end. Test return will be to the Teachers Lounge this year, not the main office conference room. Lunch by Poncheros is courtesy of Todd, and I encourage you to thank him for that. So when you come to testing on Tuesday morning, what's going to be in your bag? There will be pencils for students. We are encouraging students to bring their own, but we always have more. There will be the sticky notes with the student names on them so that you can assign seats. There will be a cooking timer along with a battery. I would encourage you to take a couple minutes to get familiar with it before testing so that you don't make mistakes. There will be a copy of the calculator notice. There will be a copy of the room roster. There will be answer sheets, test booklets, and also writing prompts. The writing prompts are in packs of 5, and we ask that you do not open them until you are beginning the writing section. So the night before testing, I encourage you to check your room, make sure you have things set up ahead of time, check your seating arrangement. Every room currently is scheduled to have 22 students in them, so you can plan on that number or maybe one more, but 22 is a good number to go with. And make sure that you have a key or a way to get in and out of your room. And this year, most of you are in your own room, so that shouldn't be much of a challenge. There is a pre-test briefing Tuesday, March 15th. It's at 8:10, and that is in the main office conference room. Plan on going straight to your test room from that meeting because that is where you will pick up your testing materials. If you are a special services person, you should plan on reporting to Deb at approximately the same time that morning, and you'll get your equipment and test materials from Deb. If you have questions, do not hesitate to email me, I'm Jim Keel, or ask me in the counseling office. I will be available Monday after school. If you have a quick question, stop in right after class and I can answer those for you. Hopefully this was useful. Hopefully this was a good way to spend 10 minutes of your time or less. Again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to email me, and have a good day.